Joan Laporta isn't just planning a transfer window, he's whispering about an election-winning headline, something that can light up the Camp Nou and silence months of boardroom tension in one seismic announcement. With Robert Lewandowski's tenure coming toward its contractual close in June 2026, Barcelona face a pivotal question: who wears the striker's mantle next? For months, the sensible shortlist has contained pragmatic names, exciting players who could slot straight into a system and not break the bank. But ambitions at the top of the club always run larger than mere pragmatism, and that's where the Haaland conversation creeps back in. The idea of a generational talisman, a number that converts chances into headlines as fast as he converts chances into goals. The fantasy is intoxicating. Imagine the roar, the instant spike in season tickets, the image of Camp Nou with a striker who terrifies defenders across Europe. It's the kind of move presidents dream of when they need a defining moment, and Laporta, with an election on the horizon, is exactly that kind of president. Yet the dream collides with reality in brutal, unavoidable ways. Erling Haaland is not just any player. He's tied to Manchester City with a mammoth long-term commitment, a deal that stretches his employment at the Etihad deep into the next decade. That contract security makes any transfer a structural puzzle. City have both the sporting incentive and the contractual leverage to demand astronomical fees, while Pep Guardiola's project would suffer a seismic blow were they to entertain selling their talisman. On the other hand, there is Julian Alvarez, a high-quality, hungry striker who ticks many boxes and represents a more plausible route for Barcelona to refresh their attack without courting the impossible. Clubs have been linked with Alvarez, and reports suggest he sits near the top of Laporta's more immediate shortlist, the kind of signing that balances ambition with feasibility. So Barcelona's dilemma crystallizes into two narratives: the headline chase for Haaland, which would require a financial shock and awe strategy and likely reshape the club's finances and optics, or a measured, smart recruitment of a player like Alvarez who brings dynamism without the same astronomical price tag. Both paths carry political consequences. For Laporta, buying Haaland would be the ultimate election poster. Show me the president who can bring the world's best striker to Catalonia. But it would also be the riskiest bet, the kind that can haunt a campaign if the books don't add up or regulatory scrutiny intensify. The alternative, backing a younger, plunge-ready forward, offers a narrative of sustainable rebuilding, continuity, and footballing logic, but lacks the viral sizzle that defines modern football politics. There are also creative workarounds that television debates will enjoy dissecting. Delayed approaches that promise to sign a player after 2 seasons, swap deals that attempt to devalue the torrent of cash needed, or controversial financing structures timed around an election cycle. Each of those options brings its own practical headaches: player willingness, agent dynamics, UEFA rules, and the inevitable reaction from Manchester City. And then there's the sporting angle: who fits Hansi Flick's vision better, who guarantees goals in the big moments. Haaland's physical dominance and scoring record are unparalleled, but a disruptive presence needs to integrate, and integration is about more than goals. It's about movement, chemistry, and timing under pressure. For Barcelona fans, the conversation is both intoxicating and nerve-wracking. Dream big and risk the books, or act smart and keep the rebuild credible. For Manchester City, any hint of temptation must be met with a firm strategy to retain the player who has become central to their success. For the broader European scene, a Haaland to Barca reality would be a tectonic shift in transfer economics and competitive balance. So what's most likely? The cautious read is that Barcelona will prioritise realistic, high-impact options while keeping Haaland's name in the conversation, because it's the lever Laporta needs politically. But rumours have a way of growing into movement when there is political incentive, public appetite, and an ambitious president willing to press the accelerator. Whatever path Barcelona choose, the summer of 2026 promises to be more than a transfer window. It could be an inflection point for a club that knows it must marry football logic with political theatre. And whichever striker steps into the empty number will carry not just goals, but the weight of an entire season's expectations and a president's gamble.